Louisiana Beer Reviews looks at Southern Tier 2X Stout, a milk stout of all things. I bought this at Whole Foods Market in New Orleans. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. Metairie, Louisiana, which is in the New Orleans area. This is brewed in New York, Lakewood, New York. 3 malt varieties, 2 hop varieties. Be nice to know what they are. They add lactose sugar, milk sugar, 7.5% alcohol. International bitterness units are unknown. It says bottled on, let's see, that's kind of, alright. The 2nd of September 2014. Okay, so it's going on 2 months. Not old. Beer Advocate says very good. Bros haven't looked at it. They looked at Wild Blue and Natty Daddy, but they didn't look at this. Okay, whatever. 95 out of 100 on rate beer, 94 out of 100 for the style. So very high. I've never had it. And I don't even know if they have any video reviews. I forgot to check. Kept looking at all those Beach Boy videos. Like Sail on Sailor from 1973. Oh, look at all that smoke. And I forgot to check this out. And then I was watching this new beer reviewer named Tanya Makowski, I think. And she's very technical and interesting. So I've been commenting on her videos. She hasn't commented back. She probably thinks I'm some kind of maniac stalker since I just like saved all her videos to watch later, and I started finding very interesting and commenting. But I'm just interested in the videos. I hear the sirens. I mean, it's like people getting hurt in accidents all the time, so I'm always praying for them. Alright. Medium cream colored head or beige, and it's black, but it's not really black. It's dark brown. This is a double stout, an imperial stout. It's about 68 degrees right now. It's dry and very sunny. And now that's the best part about Louisiana, the fall, which doesn't really last that long, and the summer. I mean in the spring, which doesn't last so long. Yeah, the summer lasts like most of the year. I don't mind the summer. It's the winter that's the killer down here. It's so humid, you just are in a perpetual state of chilled uncomfortableness. Or I should say discomfort. Well, it's very creamy and it's milky. It's sort of like milk chocolate. Okay, the blueberry was 8%, the wild blueberry, but that was hours ago. What's going on? It's bready, like, for sure, very malty brown bread. Some acidity here. I'm not really picking up any hop resin. This is like very malt oriented. The flavor, now this head is very soapy looking, I think. The flavor. It's a little char from the dark roasted barley malts, but it's not like burnt like the Samuel Adams stout I felt was a little burnt, and the George Killian's Irish stout I felt was too burnt. It's sweet, it's creamy, it's milky, it's dairy-like, it's alcoholic to some extent, 7.5. Yes. The mouthfeel is medium to heavy. It's a little creamy or velvety. It finishes, I'd say, on the wet side. The drinkability is pretty good, but 7.5%. I kind of wish I wouldn't have done the 8% Wild Blue from Anheuser-Busch, and then this because it's a little much on the ABV, considering I have to drive to Kenner, but good. I think it will dissipate to some extent, but you're gonna feel this. You're gonna feel the alcohol in this more than taste it, I think. If you're trying to get a low alcohol stout, you might want to mess with Guinness Draft 4.2%. That'll do you in a lot less than this. No, this is not bad, and in fact, it's an A. It's a solid A. It's most excellent. I mean, it's a sipper, though. I mean, if you gulp this thing, you are gonna run into so many different issues, but if this beer has faults, I'd really like to know what they are. I mean, I say that a lot because I drink a lot of different beers, and most of the ones I drink, whether they're from microbreweries or the mass producers, are really good. So I think people that do beer reviews, many of them, not all, some are fair-minded, but many of them are so picky that they're just going around looking for faults. It's like, why don't you go start your own beer company if you're so wonderful at it? Of course, they're not. It's easy to sit in front of a camera and nitpick, I think, and I don't see any point to it, but anyway. Talking about old books and whatnot, so anyway, that's an A. Most excellent. If you see it, buy it and try it. I think you'll love it. This is was given to me like so many old things. This is Color, Communism, and Common Sense by Manning Johnson. It's part of the reprint series from American Opinion News Services, but the foreword by Archibald Roosevelt. This was originally written in 1958, right the year when Manning Johnson died. He was driving home from a speech and he went off the highway, or was pushed off the highway. Manning Johnson was a communist, active communist in the Communist Party USA from the 30s to the 50s. But he turned coat and he began to think that the Communist Party was a fraud and was doing the devil's work, and did not have the black Americans in their best, did not have black Americans in their best interests. He talks about the real Uncle Toms. It's such a good little pamphlet book, and he's got so many good points. He says, posing as, quote, a friend of the Negro, unquote, they, under the guise of a campaign for Negro rights, set race against race in a cold-blooded struggle for power. Their hypocrisy and falsity of their claims are clearly revealed in a number of instances. And we can see that today, like in Ferguson. You know, and he just brings up he kept all these news clippings over the years, and he testified to the House Committee on Un-American Activities and the Senate Committee. Negro leftists glorify India, but they ignore Hindu race massacres. Why India still suffers from poverty and misery. So, you know, he talks about how they bragged on India's wonderful socialism, but they wanted to overlook the terrible racial problems that India had and that were exacerbated under Mohandas Gandhi in the 30s and 40s, for instance. Not, you know, we're not saying Gandhi was a communist, but he was a troublemaker and sort of as smart as he was in academia, he was sort of clueless in the real world. I mean, he was willing to have, oh well, okay, so 12 million Indians were murdered in racial violence, but at least India got independence from Great Britain 10 years earlier than they would have gotten without violence. So that's sort of like the point that the right wing always makes. Why was it worth having 10 million people killed so you could get independence when you were going to get it anyway for free? So, you know, like why buy a seafood platter if somebody was about to give you one the next day? Couldn't wait. Anyway, great book. or a pamphlet book. And I'm going to end this review and slash book presentation by saying, y'all come on down to sunny, optimal, southeastern Louisiana.